YouTube-wise. I'm dropping frames left and right here. So what were we working on last week? We were building out this here static page. I'll put it into my second tab. I'm going to get rid of the first tab because we probably won't need that directly. Once again, we were working on this central bit of content here, UX jobs, for the up-and-coming static UX design landing page for the gymnasium.com. We did a lot of the work on this. It is basically at a place where what we're rendering looks pretty spot on for exactly what we want it to be. And if I click, we get jobs, and that's really cool. So basically we're building out this bit of interface, and that is indeed what falls between the lines here, which is really exciting. So some of what I want to do today is show off some potential code changes we can make here. We may try and embed this into a page on the site, although to do that I'm going to need to fire up a virtual machine, which may cripple an already slow stream experience for all of us. We'll find out though. Let me drag my code window onto the screen here and zoom in, as I am wont to do. There we go. Okay, so this is, again, this is what we're shooting for. It's this is a static web page. It's essentially a comp of what to build. This is what we have built. Everything works, including hover behaviors and clicking a link to open a link in a new tab, and we've embedded all of the UTM stuff we need to do, so that's all there. I suppose, man, and I got some notifications that CircleCI and GitHub are having issues talking today. Boy, this might be a rough one. Okay, so if it is, we'll try and come up with a plan B, maybe on the fly here, that doesn't involve GitHub. That might be fun. So yeah, my goal basically is to work on the embed for this. So in fact, despite what I was just saying, I am going to start up my VM. So give me a moment. Let me do this on another screen. My desk setup is a little different than usual too. I know you probably can't see, but I'm typing directly on my laptop because my keyboard broke. Apparently broke? Stopped working. It's a USB keyboard that is no longer with us, despite my best efforts. Yeah, couldn't quite resuscitate it, so I'm due for a new keyboard and mouse setup here, which I'll hopefully have soon. But if it sounds like I'm typing a little more loudly than usual, that's because I'm typing on my beloved MacBook Pro Hyper short throw keyboard, wherein every single keystroke is me slamming the key to the chassis of my laptop. Alright, it's coming up. We'll stand the thing up, and then we're going to start poking around with some static pages. So, well, let me be right back. I'm going to open a new code window here. There we go. Wow, everything is going so slow right now. I apologize. Alright, we now have, if I open up in a new tab, I have Gymnasium running. Maybe. No, it's not running yet. Boy, that's slow. You can do it. There we go. Okay. We're now privileged enough to have Gymnasium running in its own localhost container and a virtual machine. This is probably where some of the stream stuff will get extra slow if it's going to get really bad. This is the place. That's okay. We can cope with that. Slack is having a problem too. Wow, everything's down right now. I wonder if this is going to be one of those situations where it's an AWS problem way up the stream from us, and everything is being affected. Okay, so my whole goal here is to work on this static page and get this embed working in there. Gymnasium for UX designers. This is a placeholder for the UX design landing page. So this is going to take a couple of different things, but first thing I think we can do is just get the embed working for this microservice. Then we can work on the static page, and then we can play around with moving maybe the embed from my developer environment to being embedded in the static page, although I'm not positive how well that'll work, to be honest with you. So let's... wow, I'm getting old. I just got like 25 notifications on my phone from Twitch, all about me starting my stream. Technology, okay. Let us pull up this static page. So I'm gonna, this is the page we want. We can see that we are pulling in content from our CMS, and that's all well and good. I'm gonna start by duplicating that, and at the top of the page, boy, what on earth is going on here? Get a container with a row. Why did I do it this way? It certainly works. Alright, well, that's great. This white panel appears to be this guy, so we're gonna this feels really odd. Okay. Do I need to, let's just see what happens if I duplicate this for sake of argument. Great, good work everyone. Save this, refresh the page, it should come back and have 2 of those. Great, okay, that worked. My phone is buzzing like crazy with Twitch notifications. Oh my god. Well, at least having Andrew here, hey Andrew, proves that someone is seeing this correctly. There's a few visitors here. Thanks for hanging out, as always. Commander Root, Decaf Smurf, and Apple Bad Apple. I like it. If you're people and not bots, I'd love to know where you're watching from and how you found us. Okay, so this is what I want to do, is replace this top one for now, which would basically be this content, with an embed, an iframe embed that contains the microservice. So there are a couple of different ways we can do that. However, I think I'm just going to start with a very basic iframe inclusion like we did on the dashboard. iframe, themes, gymnasium, no. Okay, we are going to have to change this too, because we changed the structure. Did we change the structure? I think we did. So we're going to have to change, we're going to have to update this URL, but we'll start by getting it right here. So we know that on this jobs bit, we're going to want to put in table. And if I save that, what happens? Okay. Oh, right. Okay, first I'm going to start with this is my local edition running in place. Okay. Well, that makes it easier. I don't think I need most of this, so we can just nuke that. Oh, what have I done? Make sure everything's closed off correctly. Okay, so it seems like I can do this, and that will handle the situation. And I think iframes can be self-closed. I don't remember any rules about them not being self-closable, at least. Actually, this seems to be unhappy, doesn't it? Okay. Well, la-di-da. Refresh. Are we getting closer? What? I have an extra... Ah. What is... Oh, I see. It's up there. Don't worry, everyone. We're under control here. Some funkiness going on here, possibly from this being inside of the row. Or that column, maybe. Nope. Okay, it's inside of the microservice, to would appear. Okay, so we're going to switch. We're going to take a look at the... well, we can actually do this in here. So, okay. I'll open my currently extremely tall DevTools, clear everything out, inspect this guy, and we can see that there's a bit of a white background going on somewhere. Background color. There we go. I set a white background color inside of this, which we don't need, so we're gonna come into this guy. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Swear it was this margin. Okay, maybe it's implied. Oops. Save that. It should theoretically refresh. Oh wow, something's really not happy on my laptop right now. Can you hear the fan? Whoa, okay. Nice. Okay, that's looking good. Does it work? Can I select something? Yeah, nice. Wow. That is really cool. So the point being here that you can see how this is starting to look like what it should look like as far as all that goes. Now, because this was such a simple, because this is such a simple include, I do wonder if what happens if I take these out, because I know that there's some magic going on with all of this. Actually, I need to... Let's see what happens if I do that. I think I might lose the resizing of this iframe. Yes, that's true, and it gets scrolly. Okay. So those need to be there. That's okay. That gives us the dynamic sizing, which is done through some JavaScript magic kind of on both sides, but it works, and it works really well. That's super cool. Does it responsive well? Yeah, it appears so. Okay. Boy, I'm going to be honest, that went far more smoothly than I thought it would. Now, here's the thing for those of you playing along at home, just outside of Boston, perhaps. I don't think we're going to be able to embed this correctly in the CMS. Because, boy, actually, I might be wrong there. Let's try it. Okay, I'm gonna move this into the CMS, and so it should look like this if rendering it in the CMS works correctly. It'll end up inside of this box here, which I just pointed out with my finger, and you cannot see that. Okay, so it should end up like this if it works inside the CMS. So let me do that. So here's our CMS repo, which you can see it's public. We're going to go to UX pages. Sorry, where is it? Home. No. Why am I lost here? Hub pages. Thank you, Andrew. UX design. Beautiful. All right, we're going to try and put this in here. And you know what? I will put it right at the top, like I said. We're going to disindentify this and add a testing add the iframe include for the microservice. That's not great. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. This is where it gets complicated. So in fact, this is why it won't work as a part of the CMS, because we use an environment variable to generate this URL based on whether it's a staging or production environment, because we have different APIs to use for the two, so that we can test against a clean sort of staging for our test environments. So in that sense, it's not worth going down this rabbit hole. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. So what we're going to have to do to achieve this layout is have a UX design top and then this and then the UX design bottom. Yeah, we could do a conditional include on that page as well, but I would really much prefer all of the URL stuff for these, for where the microservice stuff is coming from to be managed in one place, because we've had to update it a couple of different times at this point, and it makes my job easier if I don't have to remember a bunch of different places to go update this. Right now it's kind of just one environment variables file. Yeah, and there's really no reason not to break it up. I mean, it's a little less clean from a scholastic perspective, but there's no reason we can't do all of this markup and then this and then all of that markup. We can Andrew, we can mimic lots of things. I don't know. Yes, that's true. We certainly can make it happen, but what I'm saying is I have the environment variable in a dictionary on our staging server and on our production server for edX, and I'm certain I wouldn't think about updating it on Jekyll, all the Jekylls. Okay, yeah. So really the thing to do with this is to split it up, I think. You're killing me, man. I guess we could do that. Oh, fine. Okay, well then let's test this, and I will put in the staging URL for now. In my commit. Alright, let's see if this works. Jekyll. I think that should do it. Yeah, and this code is already deployed. Let's commit the changes. It'll take a second for it to come back. In the meantime, we can take this out of here, save it, re-render the page. I may not have anything to start. Do a full refresh. This will take a second. You know what I should log into? Because it's going to cache this page otherwise. Hey, cool. That looks like it's working. That looks like it's working. It's pretty badass. Okay, so now having had previously discussed this with our designer, I think that the goal is to make it so that this include happens without most of this stuff here. So just a container, a row, a column, and then that include. Don't you like it when a plan comes together? I sure do. Okay, now if I refresh this, what? Oh, right. Yeah. No. That's because I made a change to this on my dev environment, but didn't update the deployed versions. That's really cool. So this will end up working. So we're going to have to plug in some wonderful, easy to maintain logic in yet another templating language, Jekyll, to pick the right URL here, but we can definitely do that. We'll spit out the jobs into the right part of the page. All this other bits of static markup can be assembled independently. In fact, they're already done. They might be in Jekyll somewhere on a different branch I'm unaware of. So that sort of puts a bow on that. Sort of. The page isn't done, but now it's like good and ready to be done. So what I need to do is commit and deploy this change. This change, where this is now pushed to our staging and then eventually production without the white background on it. I also need to update the microservice so it doesn't have a white background on it, sort of explicitly. And then we can build the page around it, and that's a piece of cake. Okay. Man. 2:01. I did that in 31 minutes, minus my stupid Minecraftery at the beginning of this. I had planned on having that take up the entire session, more or less. I'm glad it didn't. Let's see if I can find some other fun things to work on. Oh man, sorry if things are freezing. Everything's freezing on my end. I hope it's not for you. Wow. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second here. Just getting things up and running again. It does look like my broadcaster is working just fine. Please. What on earth is going on today? So now Minesweeper. Yeah, we can get back to Minesweeper. I can crack open Steam and... Man, I'm sure Fortnite would melt my laptop, but that'd be fun. I'm gonna become a real gaming streamer. My God. There we go. Okay, sorry, my apologies. I'm having trouble getting any of my tools to work here so that I can pull up another freaking browser tab. Okay. Nothing's working. I can't get Jira to load. I can't get my source control tools to open up. Okay, this browser is still working. Oh, jeez. Oops, you found a dead link. No. Okay, something's coming up. Cripes. My apologies, guys. Now for something completely different. Yeah, I don't really know. I can't get anything to load. This really sucks. I probably need to reboot here or something. Maybe reset my router. Huh. Tell you what. Because that's not working. Because this is working and most other things aren't, we're going to work on something that really bugs me that I never have the time to fix. That is this misalignment right here. I so desperately want to fix that, and we're going to play with it right now, and I will show you what I think needs to be fixed. Okay, so as I go into a course, you can see this. Lots of things seem to change as we go in here. So I'm going to leave my mouse cursor in the exact same spot, which is where the left side of the cursor lines up roughly with the G. I'm going to hit back inside of a course, inside of the dashboard. You can see that everything goes to the left of that G for Gymnasium, just slightly. Even the catalog, and then the home page. Oh, I'll just click it. We'll get to the home page. Okay, even the home page, this G for Gymnasium is ever so slightly to the left of this content here. I can show you that more directly by opening up my DevTools and deleting this section. There we go. And if I wish there was a way to show you this. Those are pretty well aligned, but the rest of the course content is not. So we're going to go back into a course and I'm going to work on this, and we're going to try and get everything to be consistent. We're not going to have a ragged left edge, and we're going to start with the place where it is the worst, which is courseware. Now, if you've been hanging out with me while streaming long enough, you know that the worst part about working on something like this is that it means that I'm going to have to recompile SAS, and that is an actual nightmare. So, we'll do as much as we can discovery-wise without that. What I suspect is happening here is that this column should have a margin on it, and it doesn't. The row has a negative 15 pixel margin. let's see how these are rendered. So this is a container. Inside of that container should be sections. No, okay. Yeah. There's what you should see if we're doing, so let me step back. We're using Bootstrap to render this page. That's what, when you see container and row and these call-md- things, those have to do with Bootstrap. So something is violating the outline for this. Ooh, and actually this highlights it really well. Okay, so I don't know if I can get this to show on screen, but if you look at the top of this, do you see on the left where lessons is overlapping to the left of the syllabus bit below? And if you look all the way to the right, there's no overlap there. So that's indicative of something not lining up the way we would expect it to. I'm gonna shut this down. It's that row is here. There's a script in the middle of it, a few scripts, that's fine. Maybe main is in a content. So we got this container. Sorry, main doesn't have any size things applied to it, I don't believe, except for some tab index outline nonsense. Then there's a container. Does this container have a row? I don't think so. That didn't seem to help. Oh God, what did I do? Okay, let's take another approach. Look at this here. If I nix this, no, that did not fix it. Aha. So adding a margin there and a margin here, will that do it? Whoa, look at that. The gymnasium as it should look, perhaps. You can ignore this third bit here because that is only visible to course administrators. So in production, it would look like that. That feels good. Everything lines up. Is it as easy as that? That'd be great. Let's show off how we would do that. Course title header. Now if I refresh this, this should line up. And it does, and that's awesome. Now let's figure out where this comes from. Please, where this comes from. Course tabs, which would be here. It's not that. that's almost right. Doesn't feel right. It almost seems like that's a more correct fix. No. This guy needs it. Yes, wrapper course material, column D12. Okay. Let's just prove it out. I'm going to refresh this page one more time, and I'm going to add to this. Let's break this up in a way that I've grown fond of. Just to show that this should work. Oh man. Tell you what, that is a thing of beauty. Good. Then there's some funniness on the dashboard, because both of these are out of line. This is a problem that affects multiple pages, apparently. Hi, why didn't that work? Oh, because the class isn't there. Okay. That should work whenever that decides it's going to render. I'm not exactly sure how to line this one up. Because this, in theory, should have a... No. It's up here. It's up a level. It's not right either. Yeah, actually, I don't know what's going on here. This has a container fluid. This has a container. That's great. Yeah, this is really weird. It's almost as though these rules shouldn't be here. That dashboard main course content doesn't have to alter the structure or balance of this page like that. instead what it should do is pass that, like let it pass through to, well, let the container handle it. I wonder if I just need to split that out. This gets really hard to see. Oh, code folding is not doing me great here. Okay. Nope, that wasn't right. Bloody hell. Okay. Swap a couple of things here. That sure doesn't look like it did what I wanted it to do. Oh. Wait, did that do it? Did I just fix it? Maybe? Let's see what it looks like on production here. No. Yeah, it's not right. Because there shouldn't be a border and... Wait, sorry, I want my dashboard. Yeah, well, one might argue that this might be more correct, and I just need to now fix this padding. You can see how this problem gets messy quickly. In a more perfect world, these pages would be built much more modularly, using repeated componentry and stuff like that, but they're just not at the moment. I would love to fix that one day. Okay, I'm going to actually say that this looks better. We just need to update that padding. And that comes from my courses. What on earth is going on here? Why does it... Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, I've created a whole mess here. Crap. Okay. That kind of has a nice 3D effect, though. Maybe we'll go with that. You can tell what I'm... I can tell you what I'm trying to do is not recompile Sass because it takes so soul-crushingly long. Oh, man. I really should, though. I really should. It's just exhausting. Alright. Well, let's do some more rearranging. It really doesn't look like this stuff is lining up correctly, because there's a double indent there. Let's see what's going on. Why anything would happen like that. Padding. Lots of annoying weirdness here. What if we decoupled some more of this structure here? Sometimes it's best to let yourself... I can tell what past me was trying to do here was to reduce the number of apparently redundant or seemingly redundant classes. Yeah, so I'm going to div. Oh, Lord. I messed something up here. Div. With a div. And then a section. And a div. And another div. There's that section. There's that aside. There appears to be something missing here. I've done something wrong. God. Okay, well, that explains a lot. Or maybe it's just the code folding here failing me. Like, what is that? What is %doc? Can tell you what this means is that probably in here somewhere I have a missing, misaligned, and or bad I'm so confused. This is breaking my brain. Do I just have an extra div down here? That may be the case. Main, div, section, div, div, aside, section, save, refresh. What have I done? Let's see. Okay, this is perfect, excepting for the part where screw you. Okay, I broke this now because there is now too much padding or something. Oh God. No, this column, right. Okay. Okay, this is part of the structure bit of this. Just gonna do a better job of splitting all this stuff up here. So now I've got a row with a 9 and a 3 in it, and then a section and an aside. Hopefully this thing will come back together. Okay. Does that look okay? I think that looks okay. That looks okay. This is the dashboard. I'm on the dashboard. Let's go inside of a course. What do you know? A rare moment of clarity seems to have fixed most of that. What I don't like on this page, it looks like I can do the same sort of split up here, which will help me out. Maybe. I'm actually kind of confused the way this page is structured compared to the other, because they're very similar pages. I don't like that this is coming outside of the page boundaries here. So that's another thing to track down. I'm going to lose my brain if I try and do that on stream. Boy, this is really taxing to try and explain what I'm doing as I'm thinking through this stuff is draining. It's draining. Okay, let's figure out what's going on here. Even this is too wide. Or this is not wide enough. I cannot decide which. It still doesn't line up. I wonder if this is a navbar specific thing. No, see. Okay, I'm not. I'm making a mess. We're getting into dangerous territory here. What I'm gonna do, I think, is let this go for the time being. I think this update will make this much better, at least to keep my sanity afloat. We'll get these changes in, and then we can work on unifying and making better the rest of this stuff. It really all should be very simple to do. But there's so much trouble that we go through with keeping everything working with the way styles work in OpenEdX. So, tell you what, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I'm going to get these changes out. We're going to, between this week and next, hopefully get this static page done and deployed so you can see it in production. Or at the very least, my team can see it in staging and we can pick it apart. We've made some really cool progress. This bit, the embedding, worked so much better than I thought it would. I thought that was going to be just a nightmare of tweaking and moving and trying different code things, but I'm just going to have to work with you, Andrew, on some magic there. So for now, let's call it a day. This is hopefully this was a good stream for you guys. Holy cow! I'm looking at my stream software. It's the quality has been really bad. It looks like I'm dropping about 25 to 30% of the frames here. Usually it's like 0.01% of the frames. So yeah, sorry for my bad weird connection, whatever it was. I'll try and make that better for next week. Until then, you can find me on Twitter at IrreverentMike. Same as my Twitch handle, and if you are watching on thegymnasium.com, you can find me on Twitch as IrreverentMike as well. I will catch you next week. Everyone, take care.